friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's segment we are going to learn about active voice and passive voice. We are going to talk about general rules of active and passive voice in this segment. Okay, the action done by the subject in relation to the object can be mentioned in two ways. They are active voice and passive voice. Okay, so action done by the subject in relation to the object. Okay, it can be mentioned either in active voice or in passive voice. Voice of the sentence tells us where the emphasis lies in, where the emphasis, focus lies in. I teach English. English is taught by me. Meaning is one and the same. In the first sentence, focus is on the subject, I, who does the action to the object. Okay. In the second sentence, focus is on the object, English. What happens to the object? Okay. Passive voice tells us about the work done, which is important. It emphasizes on the work rather than who does it. Okay. The structure of the sentence is different in both these voices. Active voice, subject plus verb plus object. Okay. Whereas in passive voice, the object of the active voice becomes the subject of the passive voice. Okay. Verb remains the same and the subject comes to the end of the sentence taking the form of an object. Okay. Look at the sentence. Rama killed Ravana. Subject is Rama. Object is Ravana. And the verb is killed. Okay. So, subject did something to the object. Okay. This is active voice sentence. Who killed Ravana? Rama. Okay. It focuses on the subject of the sentence. Ravana was killed by Rama. Okay. If you take this sentence, object of this active voice sentence has become the subject of passive voice. Okay. What happened to Ravana? He was killed by Rama. Okay. By whom? The subject. And what happened? He was killed. Verb is killed. Now what is this was? This is the helping verb. Okay. It is not there in the active voice, whereas it has been included in the passive voice. And here Rama killed Ravana. Killed is past tense verb. Here was killed. This killed is past participle, that is V3. Okay. As far as the meaning of the sentence is concerned, it remains the same in both active and passive voice. Okay. Meaning doesn't change at all. Look at this sentence. Raj bought a house. Next one. A house was bought by Raj. Is there any difference in the meaning of both these sentences? No. It is one and the same. Okay. According to both these sentences, the subject is Raj. Who bought a house? Raj. And main verb is bought. What did he do? He bought. Object is a house. What did he buy? A house. Okay. So meaning remains the same in both active and passive voice. Only structure changes. Okay. The most important thing about the passive voice is its verb. Really important. Why? Irrespective of the tense of the sentence, the main verb of the passive voice is always a past participle. That is the third form of the verb V3. Okay. Irrespective of the tense of the sentence, you have to keep this in mind. It is a blind rule. As far as the passive voice is concerned, its verb is always a past participle. Keep this in mind. An auxiliary verb is used with the main verb of the sentence which denotes its tense. Okay, then how do we identify the tense of the sentence in passive voice? We can do that with the help of auxiliary verb that is used in the sentence. Okay, look at this sentence. Simple present tense one. I teach you. Active voice sentence. Okay, and its passive voice is you are taught by me. Observe the changes. This you, object of the passive voice, has become the subject over here. You are taught. Are is the present tense over here. Present tense be form, auxiliary verb, and taught is its main verb. Okay, which is V3, and by, this is added to it. By whom? By me. The subject of the active voice has become object of the passive voice. What is the objective form of ideas? Yeah, it is me. Okay, so these are the differences over here. In the passive voice sentence, verb is not teach. It has become taught, V3, and auxiliary verb are is added to it. Okay, the thumb rule. The sentences with transitive verb only can be changed into passive voice. Thumb rule, very important rule, is that the sentences with transitive verb only can be changed into passive voice. He takes the children to the park. Okay, so he subject, takes verb, the children is the object, to the park is a prepositional phrase. So this sentence has the subject, verb, and the object as well. Okay, so here the verb takes is transitive because it has object. Now look at this passive voice form. The children are taken by him to the park. Look at this, the children. This object has become the subject of passive voice. The children are auxiliary verb, taken V3, by, this subject he has become him over here, by him to the park. This prepositional phrase remains the same in its place. The children are taken by him to the park. We are able to convert that active voice sentence into passive voice because the verb takes is transitive over here. Okay, now look at this sentence. Children play in the park. Children play in the park. Here we have subject, children. We have verb, play, but we don't have object over here. Play doesn't have object here. Okay, in the park is a prepositional phrase. For some more information about transitive and intransitive verbs, you can check my channel. There is a very detailed explanation about transitive and intransitive verbs. Okay, so here play verb doesn't have any object over here. In the park is a prepositional phrase which can't act as object. Okay, so what can be its passive form? Is it possible to convert this sentence into passive form? Let us see. If we try, what happens to it? The park is played by children. Oh my God, how ridiculous it is. The park is played by children. Ridiculous, isn't it? So, thumb rule is the sentences with transitive verb only can be changed into passive voice. Intransitive verbs don't have passive voice. Keep this in mind. Only transitive verbs can have passive form. There are some tense forms which don't have passive voice. Even there are some tense forms. Out of 12 tense forms, there are 4 tense forms which don't have passive voice. They are present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, future perfect continuous tense, along with future continuous tense. So all 3 perfect continuous tense forms along with future continuous tense don't have passive form. Okay, now let us observe some sentences. I have been waiting for 2 hours. This is present perfect continuous tense. We had been waiting long before the cab arrived. Past perfect continuous tense. I'll have been working in this company for 5 years by 2020. Future perfect continuous. I'll be singing in tomorrow's concert. Future continuous tense. In all these sentences, there is no object of the verb. Check. I have been waiting. That's it. Waiting doesn't have any object here. For 2 hours is a prepositional phrase. We have been waiting and it doesn't have any object. Waiting doesn't have any object over here. We have only prepositional phrases. I'll have been working. I'll have been working. It doesn't have any object. In this company is a prepositional phrase. It's not a noun or a pronoun. I'll be singing in tomorrow's concert. In this sentence as well, singing doesn't have an object. In tomorrow's concert is a prepositional phrase. Okay. So there are no objects in all the 4 sentences. Verbs don't have objects. So verbs which don't have objects are called intransitive verbs, and as a thumb rule, transitive verbs only can be converted into passive voice. Okay, intransitive verbs don't have passive forms. So these verbs are intransitive, and intransitive verbs don't have passive voice. Now just for fun, let us try one sentence. 2 hours have been being waited for me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, even I feel to pull my hair very badly because it's ridiculous. It's a meaningless sentence. So we have to reinforce one thing in our minds, that only transitive verbs can be changed into passive voice, but intransitive verbs don't have passive form at all. Okay, remember these 4 tense forms: present perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense, future perfect continuous tense, along with future continuous tense. They don't have passive voice at all. Okay, the preposition by is used before the subject in the passive voice. Not always, but usually. Okay, it makes the things easier for us if it is used. Okay, active voice, I write the letter. Passive voice, the letter is written by me. Okay, so the letter, object of active voice, has become the subject of passive voice. Okay, write has become written, V3 form, and is, an auxiliary is added to it. Okay, and by whom? By me. This subject or I has become me over here, object. Okay, other prepositions with and to may also be used before the subject. Okay, in the place of by. Let us see. Active voice, I know her, and passive voice to it, she is known to me. Okay, active voice, milk fills the bowl. Passive voice, the bowl is filled with milk. Okay, so with and to can be used in the place of by sometimes. Okay, sometimes a passive voice sentence can be formed without the subject as well. Okay, even without the subject. Let us see. The door was locked. Who locked it? It implies that someone locked the door. English is considered an interesting language. Who consider like that? It implies that people consider English an interesting language. Subject is sometimes not explicit in case of imperative sentences. We have seen in our last segment the sentence, types of sentence. We studied about imperative sentence as well, and they don't have subject. Okay, what is its universal subject, dears? Let us see. Please let the door be shut. Who? You. Here the subject is you. The subject of the imperative sentence is you. Okay, Please let the door be shut. Even this is in passive form but without subject. Okay. So sometimes a passive voice sentence can be formed without the subject as well. Now we have come to our final part, that is quiz. Identify the voice of the following sentences. Very simple quiz. She took my shoes. Divide the sentence into subject, verb and the object of the verb. Okay. I painted my room. He is chosen for her. Be careful with the prepositions. Their house is looted by the burglars. He switched on the lights. The lights were switched on by him. Okay. So please try to identify them as either active voice sentence or a passive voice sentence. Okay. So that's all for now, guys. Thank you so much for being with me. And please don't forget to like and share my videos, and please subscribe to my channel as well. Okay. Meet you soon with another interesting lesson. Bye for now.